This is an excellent lens. There is much to like too. 8 throughout for lower light or higher shutter speeds. The 7 to 14, equating to 14 to 28 inches 35mm full sensor cameras, is an excellent range offering true and outstanding wide-angle shots. The first outings with the lens have given excellent, detailed results, with great color saturation and no vignette. An excellent lens from Olympus. I attach a couple of images from the first outing shot at the 7mm end of the range. You have to ask yourself how invested in the Micro Four Thirds system you are before you buy this lens. It is a really good lens. It gives good bokeh. For an Olympus lens the effective 35mm f-stop number is 5.6, because of how the M4/3 system works compared to the full-frame format. It's sharp, and focuses quickly. Against this, it's heavy, and pricey. If you've a good variety of Olympus equipment, and want a good lens to act as a 14 to 28mm f/5.6 lens, then this is the best lens you can get. If you see your future going a little further in photography, most professional photographers I've seen argue there are limitations to the M4/3 format that this lens can't overcome. Just perfect? I have the 3 Pro lenses up to 150mm on an EM1 and they are all just superb. Build quality, exodus, precision and longevity. Optics are what you would expect from Olympus. Photographs are pin sharp and rich with wonderful range of depth of field. 5-star from me. If you love ultra-wide-angle lens, this one is hard to beat. I am a professional wedding photographer and I used to use the Canon 16 to 35-8mm 2 lens and this lens easily outperforms it. Focusing speed, sharpness, corner to corner, and contrast is great. It has some heft to it but size-wise it's much smaller than any full-frame lenses. Distortion is well controlled and really great for landscape or any tight indoor photography. Absolutely superb lens. At 7 to 14mm it has the 35mm full-frame equivalent view of a 14 to 28mm, so is a true super wide-angle zoom lens. The sharpness, even fully open at f/2.8, is incredible although there is upon close inspection an unsurprising minor amount of corner vignetting at that setting. But it effectively vanishes at f/4 and is so even that it's easy to correct and post on those very few images where it's an issue. Being a Micro Four Thirds lens it's also far less bulky and heavy than my previous super wide zoom, the amazing Sigma 8 to 16mm, on my APS-C DSLR that had the equivalent 35mm full-frame view of 12 to 24mm. The loss of 2mm equivalent at the widest setting doesn't sound much but does make a genuine difference, although it's a moot point as my only wider option on M4/3 is a fisheye lens, and I hate those. As the Sigma lacked the fast aperture and was noticeably quite soft until about f/8 I can accept the slightly less wide angle of view as a fair trade-off. In contrast this lens like the other two current Pro f/2.8 lenses appears to be sharpest fully open making the fast aperture fully usable and not just a marketing gimmick. Build quality on this lens is excellent, very solid on the bits which shouldn't move and buttery smooth on the bits which should. Again, like all the Olympus Pro lenses this has a programmable function button on the lens barrel and I've chosen to assign that to keystone compensation which is amazingly good at correcting the converging verticals inherent in all wide-angle lenses, done by software only, raw files show no core. The lens has noticeable barrel distortion on raw images at the widest angle but it's uniform and very easy to correct in your chosen digital darkroom. I use Affinity Photo. The camera itself has full software correction of the distortion which applies to the JPEG files. Correcting the distortion optically would have been very difficult and would have added weight and cost, whilst reducing overall IQ, so leaving it as is was a wise choice by Olympus. The distortion appears to my eyes to be almost absent on raw files at the 14mm setting. I'm certainly no digital darkroom junkie, so I am happy most of the time with the JPEG images anyway. I choose to use the lowest compression and low noise reduction settings. As the front lens element protrudes, this lens carries no filter thread. But there are third-party filter manufacturers who make adapters to carry their square format filters such as the V system. As with all other Olympus Pro lenses, this lens is fully weather sealed. Great lens, but don't buy the 72mm filter advertised with it. The lens won't accept the filter because of the fixed lens hood. Luckily I have other 72mm lenses which will take the filter, so I now have a spare. Click link in description for more reviews.